Hello everybody and welcome to another video. So the Blood Angel project is definitely now a go. I have my combat patrol squad. I have a sanguinary priest, Sanguino and Dante. So I now have the basis of getting my army started. But it got me thinking, what amazing combos can you do with a Blood Angel army? So let's jump in and let's have a look at a couple of them. Yes, so the Blood Angel army project is definitely now a go. The combat patrol is here, the sanguinary priest is here, I have the Sanguino and Dante is almost fully painted, so I've definitely now got the basis of the army to get started with. And obviously reading my codex, which is this little one right here, I had a couple of ideas in regards to some really good combos to use. Now, so I thought I'll do a video and I'll talk about some of them. So obviously I'm going to be mainly playing the Liberator Assault group because I would be mental not to, because it is really, really good. And obviously it feels very much like the Gladius task force from the main codex. And it kind of has that Blood Angel theme with the Red Thirst. So what we're going to do is going to look at some of the first combos. And I think one of the first ones to look out for is, and this is probably a really good one if you like your Death Company, is Astorath in a unit of 10 Assault Intercessors with jump packs. Now the reason why is very simple. If Astorath joins that unit, he basically gives devastating wounds to all that unit. Now the one thing that you're not going to be able to do is you're not going to be able to get any re-rolls on those wound rolls, sadly, but you do then still get to put them in deep strike. You then get to deep strike them in 9 inches away from the enemy, and you get to roll a charge, and then you get to re-roll that charge, which is pretty damn good. Now obviously you're going to be, given a various of weapons. You want to be charging with them, so you're going to get the +1 attack and the +2 strength with them, and then coupling that on top of that with the devastating wounds that Astorath is going to give them as well, which is kind of nice. Now, you will also be able to sort of, on top of that, obviously, you don't need to worry about Oath of Moment because you're re-rolling all failed hits. Now, the only thing is you can't really fish for those 6s, so you just need to get a lot of dice in. Now, you can basically average out of about 4 or 5 attacks per model. So on a 10-man unit, that's quite a lot of dice. And then you're basically just wanting, fish for 6s. Now, you can essentially go for lethal, but the lethal won't trigger the devastating. All right? Because you need a natural roll of a 6. I believe that's how that works. Because I do believe that lethal doesn't trigger the devastating. Otherwise, that would be broken as hell. So you're going to have to roll them. So you can save yourself the CP and not give these guys the lethal hits on the with the strat from the Liberator Assault group. And so you're basically just looking for a lot of attacks, and then just really rolling those 6s. That would be pretty devastating, especially on the charge as well, where you're getting all of the Red Thirst and everything else in it. The next combo is basically a no-brainer. If you're going to be bringing Dante, you're going to be bringing 6 Sanguinary Guard. And the reason for that is Dante is going to give that Sanguinary Guard +1 to hit in combat. And he's also going to give them +1 to their advance and +1 to their charge rolls as well. And Dante leading a unit of 6, or any character leading a unit of Sanguinary Guard, is also going to be basically making them -1 to wound. And they're already going to be -1 to hit anyway because of what they are. But essentially what that means is you're basically going to be able to get +1 on your charge, +1 on your advance, and then +1 attack, which means with your swords, you're going to be pumping out 5 dice. And that's before you even account for the Red Thirst as well, which is potentially making you going to be getting at least 6 attacks per model and at least strength 8. Which is really, really good. Getting +1 to hit, which means that you're hitting on 2s. So, really, really good. Now, Dante is a no-brainer for leading Sanguinary Guard, obviously, because they are his boys. So it makes sense to sort of run that one. Now, finally, the big one and this is probably one that is kind of has been done. I've already know a few people that have been on the receiving end of this, and it's probably one of the ones with the biggest parts to get it going. So what this is you need a Blood Angel Captain on foot. First things first, you're going to want this because the new Blood Angel Captain on foot model that you get in the Combat Patrol box is absolutely awesome. So it's a must-have in your army. So you've got a choice of how you want to do this. Now, he has the ability, the Finest Hours. So basically gives him, for once per battle, at the start of the fight phase, you basically pop this ability. It gives him 3 additional attacks and the Devastating Wound ability, okay? Which is really good. Now, if you couple that on the turn that you charge, so you're getting an additional attack for charging because of the Red Thirst and +2 strength. So you're now going to be up to, if you say use a Power Fist as an example, you're now going to be getting 9 attacks, all right? At least strength 10, okay? Really good. And you're going to basically be hitting that as well. Now, you can be really, really sort of little gimmicky as well and throw in a sanguinary priest into that unit. You don't really need the 5-up feel no pain. It's nice, but, you know, this is all about how much damage you're going to be able to pump out. But what that will do is he will allow the armor penetration of your captain to be increased by 1, which means that Power Fist is now going to be -3 AP, which is really, really good. Now, you could, if you want, take the sword. You do get an extra attack, so you're going to be pumping out at least 10 attacks for this. And you're going to be hitting on 2s. You're going to be at least strength 7, but the strength 10 is a little bit better, and obviously you're still going to be -3 AP, and you're still going to be pumping out 2 damage a pop. Now, that's a lot of stuff, but you really want to make sure you really capitalize on that. And if you're hitting your Oath of Moment target, which you will be doing with this combo, you also then want to make sure that the captain has the Rage Fueled Warrior enhancement, which means that once per battle at the start of your fight phase, the bearer can use this enhancement, and if it does, until the end of the phase, the bearer's melee weapons has sustained 3 hits. So, if you're going to be running in with that Power Fist, with Devastating Wounds, at strength 10, and -3 AP, each one of those hits that you get a 6 on is going to be doing 3 hits. So what you essentially want to be doing is rolling in, rolling your dice, and in anything that's not a 6, re-roll those dice. Fishing for as many 6s as you can and get as many hits as you can. In most cases, you're going to be probably wounding on 2s and 3s, -3 rend, 2 damage apiece. That is absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. And that one model, and bear in mind, the captains are only like 90 points or something, I believe, unless they've updated it with the new... I don't think the captain changed in points. I think they are pretty much like 90 points or something. Yeah, 75 points. Standard captain, 75 points. There's a potential here of that model pumping out 28 attacks, if not more. Like, it's just crazy. Now, you can do this on the receiving end of a charge. So if your opponent charges you, you can pop 1 CP and get Echo Savages and then just go all nuts as well. Your Red Thirst isn't going to be as good. You are going to get +1 strength and +1 attack rather than +2 strength, +1 attack, where you would normally get that when you charge with Red Thirst, but you still get that. The drawback to that is you will become battle shocked, but let's be fair, you're not planning the enemy to be alive, to be completely honest. But yeah, it's a decent combo. You could stick that in a unit of 10 Assault Intercessors, and it has to be the kind of Assault Intercessors on the floor. This isn't the Jump Pack version. The Jump Pack version is going to be very different, but it's a really, really good combo, and it will just tear the chunk out of anything. That power fist pumping out 9 attacks, potential 27 attacks. If you get all 6s to hit, amazing. And then a strength 10 -3 AP doing 2 damage apiece. That is gonna hurt. Absolutely gonna hurt. What's that? You have a Primarch Angron? Let's do this. Now you could even more, but you don't really want to because you've got the devastating wounds. Again, you have the option of pumping out lethal, but you don't really want to do that. Now, this is literally a once per battle thing. So your Rage Fuel, your Warrior only works once. Your Devastating Wounds only works once. But after that, your captain is basically going to be wanting to get that red rampage to get the lethal, and then just go in with the extra stuff, which is really kind of nice. So that's some pretty decent combos you can do with the Blood Angels. There's probably a few more in the main codex, but these are the ones just coming from the supplement. The most of that book is mostly Death Company, and there isn't very much in there regarding Death Company that you'd want to take. Astorath and 10 Assault Intercessors with jump packs is a given. If you don't want to bring Astorath, or you want to bring 2 units, then the other unit would essentially have Lemates in there, because he gives them lethal hits, which would be really good. And they're relatively the same points. They're about 100 points, 105 points, so they're pretty decent. And it kind of just gives your Death Company something really to hit hard. You can have them being backed up by Dante and 6 Sanguinary Guard, and then you've got your captain with the 10 Assault Intercessors and a Sanguinary Priest running up the table, hitting anything else as well. And if you really need something dead, then you can just pop your captain in, and he just blends for 1 turn, which is pretty scary. But yeah, I thought I'd just do this quick video. Couple of combos of what you could do with the new Blood Angels. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty super excited about getting that on the board and getting to try it. I have all of the components to do it, which is going to be amazing. The only thing I need is Astorath and my 10 Death Company, but that will be happening, and probably be a mainstay in my 1,000 point center of my army, which I always pretty much take, because yeah. And I'm probably going to be doing a video at some point in the future about the differences between a Brutalis Dreadnought and a Death Company Dreadnought, because they are pretty much the same model. There's a big difference in points. Which one is best? This needs to be talked about, so expect that video in the future. But if you do like what I'm doing, please like, subscribe, and share, and all of that good stuff. Make sure you ring the bell so you don't miss out. And there's going to be a lot of Blood Angel content coming in the very near future, as well as more Space Marine 2 content. We are fully getting into the 40k. And yeah, and you can also check out my members and Patreon areas as well if you want. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye for now.